Have you ever wondered why challenges keep repeating in your family? Why do fears, anger, and heartbreak seem to pass from one generation to the next? And why, no matter how hard you try, there still seems to be an invisible force holding you back? Welcome back to Son.Mindfulness. I am truly grateful to sit here with you and share stories of Buddhist wisdom, healing, and awakening. You know, today many people are living inside the cycle of family karma. Unhealed wounds from our ancestors continue to shape our health, our happiness, and our relationships. So many questions remain unanswered. How can we break free from this cycle? How can we avoid passing these burdens down to our children? This video is here to walk with you toward the answers. You will see that karma is not a punishment. It is an opportunity to recognize, to forgive, and to plant new seeds for your whole family line. And if you stay until the end, you will discover real lessons, practical methods, and simple daily practices powerful enough to transform family karma. This is the value Son.Mindfulness always wishes to bring to you. A place where we learn together to live more peacefully, more happily, and to pass the light forward to the next generation. So if you find this meaningful, please subscribe and walk this journey with us. By doing so, you help spread these messages of compassion to many more people. I wish you good health, peace, happiness, and good fortune in every step you take. Now I invite you to step into today's journey, a journey that will lead you from the darkness of the past into the light of freedom. Are you ready? Let us begin, right now. Part 1. Family Karma, the Invisible Inheritance. My dear friend, have you ever wondered why struggles keep repeating in your family, generation after generation? A father once struggled with money, and later his son carried the same burden of debt. A mother suffered deeply in her marriage, and then her daughter entered another painful relationship. It feels as if an invisible thread is tying us to old patterns, even when we do not want it. In Buddhism, this is called family karma, an invisible inheritance we receive from our ancestors. It is not only passed through biological genes, it also lives in the energy, the words, and the unresolved emotions of those before us. A father who lived in fear and often shouted can leave anxiety imprints on his children. A mother who held back her tears for a lifetime may leave her children with insecurity and mistrust in love. I want you to imagine this. Think of a river starting high in the mountains. As it flows, it gathers pure minerals from the earth, but also debris, mud, and broken branches. By the time it reaches the valley, it carries both richness and pollution. We, who live today, are at the end of that river. This means we receive everything: the blessings and the burdens, the joys and the wounds of past generations. Perhaps you have felt yourself reacting in ways you never intended. In an argument, words come out, just like your parents once spoke, even though you once swore never to be like them. Or with money, no matter how hard you work, it feels like you are forever chasing a shadow. These things are not accidents. They are the marks of family karma flowing through you. Modern science is beginning to confirm this. The field of epigenetics shows that memories, emotions, even trauma can leave imprints in our cells, then pass on to the next generation. When one generation does not heal, the next carries the unfinished work. Do you see? Here, science and Buddhism meet. But I want to emphasize one important truth. Even though family karma is like an invisible inheritance, it is not a life sentence. It is more like inheriting a garden. In that garden, there are sweet fruit trees planted by our ancestors, but also thorns and weeds. Our task is to tend the garden, keep what is good, and bravely remove what brings harm. So when you look at your life and see painful cycles repeating, please do not lose heart. It is not simply your fault. It is the journey of a whole river, of an entire lineage, and you, with awareness and compassion, can begin to purify the water. Have you ever felt that you carry a burden not only your own, but also from many generations before you? If so, please remember this: you are not alone. We are walking together on this path of recognition and transformation. And that is the very first step to turning this invisible inheritance into a gift of awakening. Part 2. The nature of karma. My dear friend, many people hear the word karma and immediately think of punishment. But in the light of Buddhism, karma is not a sentence. Karma is simply the natural law of cause and effect. It works like planting a seed in the ground, then watching it grow. If you plant rice, you cannot expect oranges. If you plant a mango seed, you cannot expect roses. It is that simple. Every action, every word, even a passing thought, is a seed. We plant them, and sooner or later they return to us in some form. The important point is this: the fruit does not return to harm us, but to teach us. I remember an older Buddhist once shared with me. He said, "All my life I was angry, often shouting at my children. Now they are grown but distant from me. I used to think it was their fault, but now I see it is the result of the very seeds I planted." You see, karma is not meant to frighten us. It is meant to awaken us. The burdens we inherit from parents and grandparents are actually opportunities. Perhaps our parents did not have time to heal their fears, so we are given the chance to overcome fear ourselves. Perhaps our grandparents could not dissolve their anger, so we are given the chance to live with peace and compassion. The unfinished lessons of the past are continued in our lives, not to make us suffer, but to be completed. I want you to imagine this. Think of a relay race. The runner before you hands you the baton, but maybe they stumbled and the baton is stained with mud. When you receive it, you cannot throw it away. You must wipe it clean and keep running. That is the true nature of family karma. Not punishment, but an invitation. Make it complete, go further, purify what is unfinished. Even modern science recognizes the law of cause and effect in another way. Psychology shows that repeating behaviors in families often come from deep roots. Children learn how to love, how to express anger, and how to face life directly from their parents. So when we realize that we are receiving a lesson, we no longer feel like victims. We become students. And like every lesson, it is only difficult when we do not understand. Once we understand, it becomes wisdom. Have you ever looked back at a painful event in your life and suddenly realized, that experience made me stronger? It taught me to love more deeply. If you have, then you have seen how karma truly works. It is not there to punish, but to lift us to a higher place. So instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What is this here to teach me?" With that simple change of perspective, the heart feels much lighter. And that is the first step in turning karma into a teacher, instead of a chain. Part 3. The first step, awareness. My dear friend, every journey of transformation begins with something very simple. It begins with awareness. If we do not recognize the wound, we will live with it unknowingly all our life. It is like a dark room filled with dust for many years. Only when you turn on the light can you see what needs cleaning. The same is true in a family. Sit quietly for a moment and ask yourself, what patterns keep repeating in my lineage? Is it heart disease, lung problems, or struggles with anxiety and depression? Is it bursts of anger that break apart relationships? Or is it endless financial hardship, even when everyone works hard? Sometimes, it is silence, a silence full of pain when love is never spoken or given. Have you noticed any of these patterns in your own family? A Buddhist woman once told me her mother lived in worry all her life. Every day she sighed, saying, "I do not know what tomorrow will bring." And when this woman grew older, she realized she repeated the same habit, passing that fear to her own children. Then one day, during meditation, she suddenly realized, "This is not my fear alone, it is my mother's inheritance." At that moment, she began to feel free. Because when we become aware, we understand we are not the pattern. We are the ones observing the pattern. And that awareness itself is the key to freedom. The Buddha taught that the mind is like the vast sky. Emotions and habits are only clouds drifting by. If we forget our true nature, we think we are the dark cloud. But when we awaken, we remember we are the sky, not the cloud. Modern psychology also confirms this. Many repeating behaviors are unconscious patterns copied from our parents. But once brought into the light of awareness, they lose their control over us. This is very important, because without awareness, we live like puppets pulled by the strings of the past. But with awareness, we become the one holding the strings. We can choose where to walk. Do you see? Freedom is not far away. It begins in a single quiet moment. It begins when we look honestly at our family story without judgment. Are you willing to sit quietly and listen to the story of your own lineage? You might even write down, what keeps repeating in my family? That simple question could be the beginning of a great journey. A journey to refresh the river flowing in your blood. And you will see, with just one small step of awareness, you open the very first door to freedom. Part 4. The key to liberation, forgiveness. My dear friend, in life the hardest thing is not making money. It is not overcoming illness. The hardest thing is forgiveness. Many karmic chains we carry do not come from present events. They come from memories that have never been forgiven. A harsh word from a parent, neglect from a loved one, a wound we never dared to name. If we keep holding them in silence, they become shackles on our hearts. Forgiveness does not mean agreeing with what was wrong. Forgiveness does not erase memory or deny pain. Forgiveness simply means freeing the heart from the weight of resentment. When we hold on to anger, the one who suffers most is us. It is like gripping a burning coal to throw at someone else. But we are the first to be burned. Once a Buddhist woman came to me. She said she could never forgive her father, a man addicted to alcohol, often shouting and striking her. She had lived her whole life in anger, but in her old age her heart felt heavy, her sleep restless, her health weak. One day during meditation she imagined her father standing in golden light, and she whispered, "I forgive you, I bless you. May we both be free." She cried deeply. But after that day, her sleep became peaceful and her heart lighter. You see, forgiveness does not change the past, but it changes the energy of the past within us. It turns a karmic chain into a bridge of compassion and love. Buddhism teaches that most people do not cause harm because of pure evil. They cause harm because they are blind in ignorance. Like travelers lost in fog, they stumble without seeing the path. When we understand this, our hearts can open. Forgiveness is not for the benefit of the other. Forgiveness is for our own freedom. When we forgive, our hearts expand again. Our blood flows lighter. Our breath deepens. Our eyes see life more gently. If you want to begin, try a small practice. Sit quietly. Close your eyes. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out slowly. Invite into your mind the image of someone who has hurt you. See them standing in a soft golden light. From your heart, say quietly, "I forgive you. I bless you. May we both be free." Tears may come. Do not fear. Each tear is a river washing away dust from generations. You may need to repeat it many times. But with each repetition, the karmic chains grow weaker until they dissolve. And then you will feel something miraculous. Forgiveness is the greatest gift you can ever give yourself. Part 5. Practicing the cleansing of karma. My dear friend, awareness and forgiveness are important first steps. But if we stop there, karma still remains, like a river not yet purified. To cleanse it, we need daily practice. Just as the body needs bathing, the soul needs cleansing. It needs meditation, prayer, and acts of loving kindness. The first practice I want to share is daily meditation. When the mind becomes still, spiritual light naturally shines forth. You do not need to sit for hours. Just 10 minutes each morning is enough. Sit with your back straight. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly, letting all noise settle. You will see the dust of the past begin to fall away, and clarity will start to appear. The next practice is prayer for your ancestors. Whether parents or grandparents are alive or departed, they remain connected through an invisible energy. When you send blessings of peace, that compassion flows back to the roots, and wonderfully, you too are healed. Many Buddhists have told me that since they began lighting incense, folding their hands, and whispering, "May my parents be at peace," their hearts felt lighter, as though a heavy weight had lifted. Another practice is selfless service, known in India as seva. When you do good without expecting anything in return, the energy itself purifies karma. A bowl of food offered to the poor, a kind word to someone in pain, an embrace of your children with full love. Each of these is a seed of goodness planted for your whole family line. You can dedicate these acts as a prayer. May my family be at peace. May past karma dissolve. Finally, I encourage you to use daily positive affirmations. In the morning, when you look in the mirror, smile and say, "I am free from all burdens. I live in the light." These simple words, repeated often, become seeds in the mind, nurturing new belief. Imagine this. If the family river has long been muddy, then each breath in meditation, each prayer, each kind act, and each positive affirmation is like a drop of fresh water falling in. Drop by drop, over time, the river becomes clear. You can begin today with just one small step. 10 minutes of meditation, one blessing, one act of kindness, one affirmation. Small but steady. And slowly, the flow of karma transforms from heavy and dark into clear and bright. Then you will feel your own heart grow lighter, your family more peaceful, and your children's future more radiant. Part 6. The meaning of suffering. My dear friend, none of us wants suffering. Yet if you look closely, you will see that every pain carries a seed of wisdom. A seed that, with patience and calm, can grow into a precious lesson for the soul. Fear can be passed down from one generation to the next. But that same fear can push us to seek truth, to find firm ground in Buddhism and in love, instead of being swept away. Anger has broken many families and relationships, yet anger can also awaken in us a deeper longing, a longing for peace, a longing for gentle living. Do you see this? Suffering can feel like a heavy weight, but it can also be the step that lifts us higher. I remember an elderly Buddhist woman in California. She told me she grew up in a home full of arguments. The sound of her parents fighting was the soundtrack of her childhood. But because of this, when she became a mother, she made a vow. She decided to create a peaceful home for her children. She said, "I do not want my children to grow up with the same memories. My pain has become my determination for the next generation." That is the meaning of suffering. In Buddhism, we often speak of the lotus flower. The lotus grows from mud. Without mud, there is no lotus. But when it blooms, the flower no longer smells of mud. It carries only a pure fragrance. Our lives are the same. Old karma, repeated suffering, painful cycles. These are the mud. But if we reflect deeply, if we transform, we too can bloom right in that mud. Have you ever looked back at a painful event and realized, without that suffering, I would not have the wisdom I have today? Without falling down, you would never learn the strength to rise again. Without tasting loneliness, you would never understand the value of a loving embrace. This is how the universe, or in Buddhist terms, how karma, works to awaken us. Suffering is not meant to crush us. Suffering is the fire that tests gold, revealing the strength hidden in our hearts. But this is true only if we are willing to open our eyes. If we face our pain with mindfulness. If we run from it, we stay trapped. If we face it directly, pain itself becomes our teacher. My dear friend, remember this. Mud does not pollute the lotus. Instead, from mud, the lotus gains its beauty. So please, do not fear suffering. Ask your pain, what are you here to teach me? And then you will see, every wound is a doorway to wisdom, compassion, and awakening. Part 7. Freedom and the Gift for Generations. My dear friend, many people think that to be free, we must leave our family behind. But in Buddhism, freedom does not mean abandoning loved ones. Freedom simply means we are no longer unconsciously controlled by old karma, passed down through generations. It is like staying in the same old house, but now opening the windows wide. Light and fresh air flow in. The house is still the same, but the space feels completely different. You can remain with your family, still talking, still loving, but inside you are no longer pulled into the same old cycles. When you find true freedom, that light is not only for yourself. It flows backward to your ancestors, like a blessing offered to them, and it flows forward to your children and grandchildren as an invisible but powerful gift. I once met an elderly woman in Texas. She had spent her youth suffering under an abusive husband. For many years, she held fear and resentment in her heart. But at age 70, she chose to let go. She practiced forgiveness, she meditated daily, and she chose peace. Amazingly, after a few years, she noticed her children also began to change. They argued less, they became more gentle with each other. She said, "When I became free, my family became lighter too." You see, the liberation of one person can shine a light on an entire lineage. That is the greatest gift we can give to our family. Not money, not land, but the energy of transformation. It is the courage to turn darkness into light, anger into compassion, fear into peace. When we do this, we break a single link in the long karmic chain of our family. And because of that, our children can walk more lightly, more freely. Do you wish to leave your children land that may one day be lost? Or do you wish to leave them an endless source of love? Do you want to pass on cycles of suffering? Or do you want to give them the chance to live in freedom and happiness? The answer lies in each choice, each step of transformation we take today. Remember, when one person in the family becomes free, the whole family shares the blessing. This is how we give the greatest gift of all, the gift of freedom and light. Part 8. Collective Good Karma. Resonance for Future Generations. My dear friend, if old karma is the seeds we must harvest, then new karma is the seeds we are free to plant. And here is the miracle. When a family plants good seeds together, the blessings do not belong to one person alone. They bless the entire lineage, flowing into future generations. Imagine your family as a shared garden. If only one person plants good seeds, flowers will bloom, but only here and there. But if the whole family plants and cares together, the garden bursts into bloom, filled with fragrance. In practice, this can begin very simply. Each day, the family might spend 5 or 10 minutes sitting together, chant a short prayer, or simply breathe mindfully in silence. That moment is like lighting a lamp, letting peace and compassion spread through each heart. Or the family can serve together. When parents and children join hands to visit the poor, to help a shelter, or to share a meal, compassion becomes a shared stream, stronger than any individual effort. You can also change the atmosphere of the home with kind speech. Instead of blame or criticism, practice words of encouragement and gentle support. Even one person changing can shift the whole family. And if everyone commits, the home becomes a refuge, not a battlefield. Families can also build healthy habits together. Eating mindfully, caring for health, walking together, remembering ancestors with gratitude, telling children stories of love and wisdom. These simple actions are the bricks that build a strong foundation for future generations. When many hearts beat in rhythm with love, resonance happens. Good energy multiplies, protecting not only the present but also the future. And what are the fruits of this goodness? Children and grandchildren meet fewer obstacles. more doors of opportunity open for wisdom and compassion. The family stays connected, bound by love instead of broken by conflict. Do you want to leave your descendants such a legacy? A legacy not measured in money or land, but in love and merit? If so, begin today. Together with your loved ones, plant seeds of goodness. And one day, when you look back, you will smile. You will know your family has transformed an old karmic field into a garden blooming with lotuses. Part 9. Conclusion. My dear friend, we have just walked together through a deep and meaningful journey. We spoke about family karma as an invisible inheritance. We saw that karma is not punishment, but an opportunity to learn. We learned that the first step is awareness. Because with awareness, we know we are not the old patterns. We discovered the power of forgiveness. Forgiveness frees the heart and makes it lighter. We practiced cleansing karma through meditation, prayer, service, and positive affirmations. We found the meaning of suffering. Suffering, when reflected upon, becomes a teacher of growth. We saw that freedom does not mean leaving family behind. Freedom means no longer being unconsciously controlled by old karma. And we learned about the power of resonance when a family plants seeds of goodness together. A family that plants love creates the most valuable inheritance for future generations. Do you feel this message touching your heart? Do you wish to begin planting new seeds today? If so, please start with something small right now. One mindful breath, one word of forgiveness, one act of kindness. I believe you will see change in yourself and in your family. I am truly grateful you spent this time listening with me. Thank you for opening your heart and walking this journey fully. Congratulations, for you have discovered precious lessons for yourself. Now, I invite you to pause for a moment and ask, what did you learn from this journey? What practice do you want to begin first for your family? Please share in the comments, because sometimes your story can bring light to another. If you found this video valuable, please subscribe, share, and continue to support Son.Mindfulness. This will help these messages of love and compassion reach many more people. I wish you and your family health, peace, happiness, and good fortune. Thank you.